And March 2021, here we go. So yeah, hey, couple new agents joining our ranks and team assistants, I should say, as well. So do a couple quick intros. Hayden, we already mentioned your name. Do you want to just get your pretty face closer to your camera and tell everybody a little bit about yourself? Glad you're here, bro. Are you there, Hayden?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Service. I don't know where to sit here. I'm in the. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
What do you want to know? A local real estate investor looking to, I don't know, kind of build an empire. I like the energy you guys have as a team, and I'm excited to work with you guys.
Good. Awesome. So Hayden does some new construction as well. So awesome. So if you saw Spencer's new listing down in Stoddard, Hayden's the man behind the hammer on that one. That's correct, right, Hayden?
Yeah, correct.
Cool. And where do you live?
Was La Crosse here.
You're in La Crosse. Okay, cool. Sometimes good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put together a spreadsheet of where everybody's at as far as location-wise, because every now and then you got a seller that is locked out of their house, or we got whatever, and it's helpful to know if you guys have somebody that's locked out here on east of Holman, and you're down in La Crosse and you need somebody to open up a door, you certainly can give me a call and I can run 3 minutes to go do it instead of you running all the way up from La Crosse. You know what I mean? So I'll put a spreadsheet together just so everybody knows. I think people have a decent idea where people are at, but that'll be helpful. Sometimes be able to call somebody close if there's an emergency or a door needs to get unlocked or whatever else, help each other out. So, but that's cool. So we got another one down in La Crosse. Glad to have you on board, Hayden.
Thanks. Looking forward to it.
Good. It's awesome. And Hayden his license isn't quite active yet. He's going through the process right now on the backside, doing the Lara joining, getting the memberships and everything else and license activated. So. And then we got Lydia Lipinski. Are you on here, Lydia? I think I saw you.
Oh, I'm on.
There she is. Lydia knows Amber and Spencer, actually. But yeah, share a little bit about yourself, Lydia, and glad to have you joining the team here.
Yeah, I just graduated high school back in spring of 2020. I live in West Salem. I've been here for almost 7 years now. I kind of started joining real estate because I kind of like the idea of how I can work as hard as I want, and the chances of me succeeding if I work hard is a lot better than like a 9-to-5 where I can work just as hard as everyone else or harder and then still get the same pay. I also like how I only went through one class and am here now already instead of going through 4 years of college, because I'm not a big sitting down and doing school person. So I'm really excited to start pretty much as soon as I can.
Who wishes they were Lydia at 18 years old? This guy right here. Man, that's great, Lydia. I'm laughing, but it's so true. Save yourself 150 grand in college and start earning some income and serving people. That is so critical, you guys. I always say that real estate's great because it can be whatever you want it to be. You can make it as much as you want and put as much as you want into it. If you don't want it to be, you got to always balance because it can run your life, obviously, when you're really attacking it. But to have that mindset of being able to do as much in a short period of time and build it as big as you want to is critical. There's a lot of people that get into real estate and just kind of buy into the system of, most companies have one or two produce. I mean, this is just natural. If there's 20 agents that name the company in town, 2 of them are people that really are making a good living, and then the rest don't. I mean, that's like the brokerage model. What I love about the heartbeat behind so many of you guys is that, right? I can make whatever I want to make out of it. And so many of you guys are killing it. So it's fun to watch, and it's fun to watch it like, if you guys look at corporate wide and you look at some statistics of like National Realtors Association or the Wisconsin Realtors Association, you take the average age of licensed realtors, it is in the upper 50s, has always been in the upper 50s, and is still I think it was like 56 last time I heard, just a couple months ago. Obviously, OneTrust Real Estate, we're a far younger crew than that, which is neither here nor there really, but the heartbeat that I love behind you guys is the excitement and the just knowing it's ahead of you. And we've been super blessed to be in a booming economy the last 8 years, real estate wise. So, I mean, that's the outlook to have, and the mindset to have when things are booming is to go kill it and not be content just kind of taking the path that everybody else is. So I love that, Lydia. Back there in the smorgasbord that is the Austin Stewart team, we saw a new face back there, Mr. Tyler Olson, if you want to make yourself known to the people.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Tyler. I'm originally from the Westby area. I've been in graphics and marketing for about 8 years now, and I'm on the team as a team assistant with a little bit of marketing. So happy to be here.
Awesome. And Austin's made it really clear that he is not going to help anybody else with anything that they need. No, I'm just kidding. Austin's got that billboard looking height. You make Kyle and Austin look handsome. You're a gifted artist, Tyler.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, it looks sharp. Love seeing those billboards up. So cool. Well, super glad to have y'all in the crew, and love seeing the team grow. New agents, certainly don't be afraid to ask people questions. I'm here for you. If somebody specifically, encourages you to get into real estate that's on the team already, use them as a bouncing board. That's what we're here for. We want to encourage you guys. I'm obviously here, but it's always good. I always tell people, in helping you guys, I know what I know. Okay. And I'm going to get into this in a little bit. I've sold, I don't know how many houses, I need to tally it up, but well over 1,000 homes in my real estate career. But I know how I did it, and I know what works for my personality. And so hearing from other people and how they do it, people are willing to share knowledge in our group here, which is very rare, I will tell you. The other thing that's unique about our company is almost all of you have been with OneTrust from the get-go. There's a handful, a couple of you guys that have experienced other brokerages, but you only know what we have here, and what we have here is very unique in comparison to other companies nationally, but certainly other companies in town. Okay. You just have to trust me on that. But the greatest investment you can make in your business, if you're a newer agent, is $15 taking somebody that's a producer and has some experience out to lunch and just asking them questions. That will pay you back. Lydia just said, she likes the fact that she can take a 2-week course and be licensed and help people sell their homes. Hello. I always say still, like, man, I wish it was a little steeper than that, or I wish maybe it cost 10 grand to get into it, which would inhibit the barrier of entry. But it would take somebody like Lydia that says, hey, I can work as hard as I want to and make whatever I want to make here, would say, okay, 10 grand is still better than going to college, and I can still do this. But there's so many floaters that don't take this business serious wouldn't do it for 10 grand, right? And so that is, then you end up with people sometimes that you'll see across the table representing other people that just don't have their heart in doing what it takes to really serve their clients to the best of their ability. So anyway, stoked for you guys to just keep wearing that mindset, and the word mindset, we sometimes just think of it as like an abstract mindset, how you think. But the reality is it is setting your mind to think a certain way, okay? And that is critical for success. So let's get into new listings. We'll talk about some listings, buyers that we got out there. If anybody has any new listings coming to the market or just hit the market that doesn't already have an offer on it, feel free to share with the rest of the group.
I can start us off. I have 3 vacant lot listings coming up in Minnesota, over in Queens Cove,
They are they're borderline buildable. If they are buildable, it's going to take quite a bit of money to put in infrastructure to make them buildable. So they're going to be pretty reasonably priced, from 10 to 30,000. So I have those coming up. I have a smaller 2-bed, 1-bath bungalow off Winnebago Street that's going to be coming up in the next couple weeks, probably around 120,000. Kyle's got a vacant land listing that's coming up here this week up towards Melrose, actually a development opportunity, about 60 acres right across from the high school in Melrose. So cool opportunity to potentially develop. Otherwise, it's really good ag land with some ponds and trees and stuff like that. So
Sweet.
you know, that's all we got.
Awesome. Tearing it up. Excited. Anybody else?
Yeah, I got a buyer in La Crosse. If anybody knows of, looking for like 4 to 5 bedrooms, probably 350 to 400,000. Kind of looking for more unique house that's got AC is a must, central air is a must. So if anybody can find anything like that, let me know. Internally, to have a 4-bedroom house for sale as well, probably in that like 180 mark as well. So
I got a couple coming up. I just listed you guys last night. If you didn't see it, go like the Josh Newman Group Facebook page and our new listing on Lake Road out in West Salem. You know what? If I would have thought about it, I could have done our team meeting out there. But maybe I'll have you guys out if we don't get something. I mean, you know, there's not many buyers in the 1.35 range in La Crosse. In fact, I'll look, and I don't know if a house sold that expensive last the horse barn and did back in the country club. But anyway, it's listed at 1.35, 6 bedrooms, 5 full baths, theater room that he's got about $120,000 into. Huge 6+ car garage, 2-car detached garage, western exposure on Lake Neshonoc on 4 acres that butts up to about 200 acres of county land. That there's a trail to right out the sidewalk. They got one of those infinity lap pools, above ground deals that is included. Custom bar. Really just a super cool house. They thought of absolutely everything. It's got in-floor heat with a boiler system now. They drilled 10 250-foot wells for geothermal in the future if anybody ever wants to add that. Probably the coolest thing I've seen ever in a house is this. They're called phantom screens. So it's got a remote control. It's got this super cool covered porch with the wood and the ceiling fan and all that stuff looking out on the lake. You can press a button and retractable screens come down that are in tracks in the posts and basically turn the whole thing into a screened-in porch. So it is like MTV Cribs, Big Pimpin'. It's sweet. So anyway, if you got anybody at 1.35, I'm actually showing it to a buyer today at 2 o'clock. So it'd be ridiculous if it's sold quick, but pretty easy to show. It isn't vacant, but it's pretty easy to show. I have to be present on all showings, so if you want to show it, just let me know. Pretty neat, and I got a video. I'll show you guys actually something on it later on. So got that, and then I got one in West Salem we've got coming up. Hard to find West Salem home, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath on Van Ness. It's going to hit the market on Thursday. So if you want to see it, it's going to be at $215. Super cute and charming exterior, 3-car garage in town, which is sweet. But the inside needs some work. They got a bathroom that needs to get gutted. Just general painting and lath and plaster cracking and some of that stuff. So that'll be at $215 is the plan. So
got a couple listings. One is one of those Pettibone condos. It's a 5-bedroom, high-end everything, top of the line. I mean, they did all the upgrades you possibly could in this thing. They just I helped them find their dream home on French Island. So they've lived there for 2-3 years. It's going to be the only one that's actually waterfront. A lot of the other ones that are listed right now up to $600,000, you have to walk around. The other units that get to the water, these guys actually are right on the water. You walk out your patio door and there's the water right there. So that's going to be listed probably just under $800. Again, it's super high end on the inside of what they've done with it. And we got another potential coming up in Holman, 5-bed, 3-bath, ranch home built 4 years ago, finished basement, great location over there on Huntington. That's going to probably be somewhere between 370 and 390. And that's a really nice ranch home that's only 4 years old over there. Really, really, really well done on the inside. So a couple of those coming up for me. And a triplex is coming up on North Side La Crosse probably in the next week here. 321 Caledonia Street.
How much for the triplex, Spencer?
I got to talk to Andrew, nail down the price. So it's probably going to be around 90. It's probably going to be right around 95 to 100 times rent though. Nicely done. Nice renovated place.
Hey, Spence, send me the details on that Pettibone Plain property, please.
Okay, we'll do.
Spencer, he's selling all those properties so far at really good ratios. I mean, it's tough to find a rental right now at 95 times rent. So
Oh, I know.
you guys keep looking at those as they come on the market.
Yeah, he's getting he stopped wanting to sell them off market because he gets such a good price on the market. So I mean, that one on Onalaska Ave has, that's a little fickle with what the city did to him. They kind of hosed him there, convert that to a duplex onto it after he bought it. But I still think he'll sell it. But yeah, other than that one, I mean, he's got no problem selling his stuff for pretty good amounts.
Nice. If you're selling real estate, I encourage you to set aside a bucket of money from every closing to someday invest in real estate. Whether it's,
yes, sir.
Whether it's, that's why Spencer's in his underwear right now with the camera off, because he's bought so much real estate the last 3 years.
No comment.
So, but that's always, I told you guys that in that last Money Wisdom Wednesday meeting we did, just to be allocating money to invest. You can make a lot of money selling real estate, but you can build some wealth up by acquiring real estate. So I think it's a great plan amongst other investment vehicles. So, but I think it's the best one. Cool. All right. Well, if there's anything, anybody else have anything for buyers, sellers?
I have a few coming up.
Okay.
In La Crescent, it's going to be a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom right in town. Has a nice backyard, 2.5 car garage. We're probably going to list it in about a month or two. They're just building and moving. So that'll be 380. And then a ranch style 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house right out of town in Brownsville. It's sort of like country living, but without the country price, and you don't get a whole lot of acreage with it. So that one will be at 140. And then I have a duplex and a triplex in Sparta, and we're keeping that off market. So they're 140 each for that one. The tenants just give a lot of problems with showings. Hayden knows.
Yeah. Maybe in our workplace, if you want to post that. Do you have a full listing on them, or what do you have on the
duplex and triplex?
Yeah.
We're gonna meet on the 30th and sign some documents.
Okay.
Yeah, but
let's just chat before that. So if they want like an office exclusive, or you have to make sure you just have the MLS exclusion stuff done.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, awesome. Well, cool. Let's get into the market a little bit. Let me share with you guys. Rates are still great. The Fed came out and said they're not going to raise rates, so that's good news for us. And I think that may be what the future of our country might look like. The financial world is upside down right now. It's a big mess. So, but we'll see. That's another topic for a lunch or longer meeting probably. The house is currently on the market. I always kind of talk you guys through this. Currently in La Crosse, there are 34 houses active. The MLS did the deal where we are now the new MLS policy as of March 6th. When you have a listing and it is accepted, it must go pending unless you're going to continue showings. Okay. So we talked about that a little bit last month in our meeting, but you got to be aware of that. It's the nice thing is it's going to show, when you're searching and a buyer calls you for houses, you're going to know if it's pending or not. Active or active with offer means they got an offer accepted, but maybe it's contingent on the sale of a home, or maybe they have some other contingencies that they're still on the market and taking showings for, but they cannot be active with offer with the little C on there in MLS unless they are willing to show the house and accept secondary offers. Okay. So just be aware of that, that change. So on your own, and there's a hefty fine, I think it's $200 if you don't switch a house to pending and somebody calls you to show your house, your listing, and you've got an offer accepted on it. So there's like a 24-hour grace period. So if it happens right away, you're in the clear. But if you don't flip it pending and somebody calls, you can be big trouble and get a fine from La Crosse Area Realtor Association. So last month there were 26 listings available in La Crosse. This month there's 34. So that's good uptick in activity. But if you go over to Alaska, there were 20 last month. There's only 11 active properties right now this month, single family homes. Holman is about the same as 11 last month, 10 this month. Campbell, same deal, 2 last month, 3 this month. West Salem, 3 last month, 4 this month. So those are all kind of steady. Alaska and La Crosse kind of did an inversion deal on how many properties are available. I'm going to share my screen with you guys and just show you again. This is always good information for you to be looking at. If you're not live or talking and you can mute your thing, that'd be great. So there's a little bit of echo on me. So, all right, this is a WRA. If you click here and you click under, oh, I'm sorry. If you click here, resources, property data, housing statistics, that's where you find this, okay? So this is totally available to all you statewide, Wisconsin. You know, what's trending, what's happening in the market. This is important, right? Because the media, you guys are paid to be educated on what's going on in the market. When you will find, mute me, please, if you're not muted, mute yourself. You'll find that the news is always talking about real estate, and you're going to find that when you go somewhere, people will just say, hey, how's real estate? How's the market? How's everything else going? So let me see if I can mute.
I think I just got.
Is that Spencer?
No, that wasn't me.
Spencer.
It was Tony.
All right, whatever.
Tony,
Anyway,
sorry, I thought it was muted.
Tony, you cute kids. All right. Anyway, no problem, dude. Okay, so but the word on the street always is that there's no houses for sale. Not, you know what I mean? Inventory is low. Inventory is low, but it's only low because we have more buyers than we've had in forever. And I don't know, you know, you have to read some articles to see where they're coming from. There's a lot of different theories on that, but we're also having more multifamily available than we've had in a really long time. And yet there are more buyers in the house. There's houses available. Our building, if you look at new construction, is way behind trend lines of where we've been, and we've never recovered since 2008 when so many spec homes and builders got crushed when the market dropped out. But that was that boom prior to that was an artificial boom built on terrible mortgage and terrible, you know, policies, financial policies. That's not the case right now. So, but if you look at these numbers, again, you know, everybody's saying this is statewide. I mean, we sold 6,000 more houses than we did in 2020. And if you look at the beginning of the year here, we're up 500 houses closed and 300 closed houses in January and February. So we're up 800 closings already statewide compared to 2020, which was already up significantly from 2019. Every one of these months, right? Little dip here, and then we'll have a dip. Actually, we didn't have a dip. Showings were dipped like crazy. We had a big dip right here in May for closings because of the Rona. So, but obviously you see it came raging back. So that's statewide, and median price went up statewide. If we hone in here on what we're doing in La Crosse, we can get this right down to our county. So you can search anywhere if you want to know the market, what's happening. You can bust this down. And here's where we're at for the year. La Crosse is a different story than the rest of the state. So the rest of the state is booming on the number of closings. But if you look at La Crosse, 11 more houses in January, but we're down 13 houses in February for closings in February. So that's pretty interesting, actually. When the rest of the state was up 350 closings in February, La Crosse was actually down. So that does mean there are less houses for sale than there were last year, because that's trending down, right? So we'll see what happens here in March, how many closings there are. There's certainly a ton of activity going on. But I don't want you guys to buy into, it's not that drastic. It's not like there's no houses for sale. People are selling houses. We just got to be creative and be smart in how we do it. So I'm going to talk about that on how we can potentially get some extra listings and some extra transactions specifically for us. Okay. So, and then median price, guys, this is stupid. Now you can't take these are anomalies. This is why you want to look at a lot of data. But if you look at what the prices have done from January 2020 to January 2021, the median price went from 181 to 215 and from 185 to 225 in February.
We're making more money.
That's insane. It does mean we're making more money, which is sweet, but that's insane for home values. Are they going to keep trending up? They certainly could. There's a lot of reasons to believe, like I was talking on a global or macro financial level, that prices are just going to keep going crazy and we're going to see some inflation. And having your money into real estate is about as safe of a place as it could be. Some sort of hard asset, whether that's metals or cryptocurrency or whatever. So, but these prices could keep going, certainly. But if you look at trending, what's been happening over the last 10 to 15 years, the same month, that's a standard data point, always February of the year. We're seeing some crazy stuff happening on numbers and values, which is, it's just fine. Like Jason said, we make more money. Maybe commissions get a little bit more competitive, some of that stuff, but you're making a lot more money as prices go up. So over time and over the course of a year, that adds up. You don't make a ton more on $20,000 more commission wise, but over the course of an entire year of prices doing that reflects your gross income big time. So as far as OneTrust goes, I'm going to get out. I just did not have the time to compile everything that closed with OneTrust versus what we have closing now. That is on my to-do list, and hopefully in the next 48 hours, I'll get a graphic up on our Facebook page that you guys can share just about how many families we're helping, how many pending closings we have, and all that stuff. So back office EXP, they're still trying to work out so that I have full access to everybody's stuff. It's a little bit cluttered on that. So, but that is where we're at market wide. If you guys want to go, I'm not going to play it now because we had more chatting on properties in the beginning. I want to leave this open for discussion here, but the other place you can go that's pretty handy is same deal under resources, property data, sales reports, and that'll take you to this page, and you can click on the February sales report. This is statewide, so it's not quite as pertinent as it is to us, but they give you basically their economic people that we have at the WRA give a breakdown of what is happening market wide. They do this once a month. It's great info. And if you're just wondering, like, I want to sound smart to my friends, but I don't really know how to dissect information or figure out percentages, this is a great report to just look at. Okay. It'll give you some numbers and say, hey, you can tell your friends, and they're like, how's the real estate market? You say, well, median price is up 11.1% compared to the first 2 months of 2021. Comparing the first 2 months. And then you'll sound really smart to your friends. Okay. But read through that. And if you got questions on it and how to understand it, feel free to shoot me an email, text, or call. And again, your job is to be educated, to be the professional. That's what you get paid for in this industry often. Yes, creative, work hard, be available, all those things. But you are paid to know things that your clients don't know, because anybody can put a sign in their yard and get their house sold today. You're paid to know what the market is and to be able to get them top dollar in the negotiating process and be able to position so that you get multiple offers and all those things. So just another resource for you there. On to some company updates. Office is coming along. It's been a slower process than I thought it would be, but I'm super fired up. You guys, it's going to be super cool space. Drywall is starting today. So electrical inspection finally got done, and we were held up for a couple of weeks waiting for inspection clearings from the city. So that's cranking. It's going to be really cool. Awesome opportunity, obviously, for us to just hang and be able to be together as opposed to over computer screens, which is cool, but we'll be able to do some really cool happy hours down there and buyers events and all sorts of stuff, and certainly open to whatever you guys have creative wise to use that space to the greatest advantage for you. So it's going to be awesome. Sky Slope, obviously you guys are doing great there. Hopefully you're enjoying the fact that you have somebody to immediately review your documents, tell you what's needed, what's missing. Any questions on that stuff, feel free to ask. Otherwise, shoot Michelle Heinz, the gal that we have that reviews everything. Just ask her a question, what's missing, or if you don't understand something, what they're looking for. Got to remember to have those the wire fraud and the business affiliation docs. The wire fraud's important document. The business affiliation doesn't really apply to us a whole lot. Nobody's really going to be using the other businesses that are affiliated with EXP on those things. But 2 docs, just set up a standard procedure that when you're doing the listing, boom, you send them over to them on digital signature, or you tell them, hey, I'm going to send you these 2 other docs, wire fraud, business affiliation. Get those done, get them up, uploaded when you're doing your transactions. Any questions on that at all?
So we don't need to use the electronic documents one anymore, is that right? It was a required tab on SkySlope. I went to that All Things EXP where you can, Wisconsin's whatever forms, and it's a dead link. And then I contacted Andy Barnes and he said that we no longer have to do that. So if we take a listing contract with a wet signature, at first I was told we had to have that electronic disclosure form. Apparently we don't have to do that anymore. So we just have the 2. I found that out by asking questions, I guess.
Was that addendum D?
I don't remember what the heck it's called. Yeah. So
yeah, that's great. No, if Andy says we don't need it, I think the language covers in the offer to purchase now, and then
the listing contract, yeah.
And the listing contract also, yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So good, they did away with it.
I would just make note that, I mean, I've had a couple that they've been very, very nitpicky on certain things. So like buyer's agency specifically, usually I put 3% for commission, but as you know, sometimes it's 2, 2.4, 2.2, depending what it is. And I know for me, they said they want that to match to exactly what I am getting paid. So what Kyle and I have been doing is putting 3% or MLS co-broke commission offered by listing firm and MLS, and that basically allows you to accept whatever the listing agent is offering. So that's something we've started doing there, and just other little things that making sure dates line up and stuff like that. I've had to go back 2 or 3 times just over little stuff. So just throwing it out there.
I'm wondering if anyone has come into the situation of having to upload proof of funds. I don't know how important that is. Like if you have a cash buyer, that's a required document now too. And
proof of funds is a required document?
If it's a cash deal.
Huh, okay. I know in the offer to purchase, it's required by default that within 7 days you provide the seller proof of funds. I didn't know it's a required document on there. So yeah, good to know. Scott, you got a cash deal going on, so just to be aware of that. You'll need to upload something into SkySlope for that.
Got it.
Cool. In SkySlope, one thing that is will be really helpful that I wasn't aware of, and this gets into kind of our training thing. Well, I'll circle back to this just as far as other OneTrust stuff, using SkySlope in that. On Boomtown, any of you can still use your personal link, right? Josh.onetrustrurealestate.com. Those leads will come to you in your back office in Boomtown once you've done the training and you're set to go on to receive those. But and I talked about this last month. If you're running into any questions as far as like all your leads got taken out, right now the round robin doesn't go out to anybody. They are all getting worked back end by John, our inside sales associate. Those will get re-put out to you if you're on lead rotation and you want to pay a referral to have those free leads. Okay, these are leads that you pay nothing for, that I'm paying for, but those are on the company generated split of 50-50. Okay, so but those are now in a spot where they're ready to go. They're ready. You're going to be getting leads that are, hey, we want to. Last night I got a message that, hey, I just sent this lead over to so-and-so. They want to look at this house sometime in the next 2 days, right? So now you're not wasting. What I want to do, what I think makes one reason, some of you are just better than me, but the reason some of you are exploding in your real estate careers way faster than I did, and I was fortunate to do really well right out of the gate, but some of you guys are really, really killing it, is you're great at delegating and running your business better than I did. Okay. So that is one thing. If we can get as many things off your plate as possible so that you're doing money producing activities, that's where I want to go with fueling the fire that you guys have already burning, right? So that's one of the things, that's why I put this into place. You can spend a lot of time following up on leads that really are dead leads and aren't responsive or aren't qualified or whatever else, right? Burning up time where you could be doing marketing things and you could be spending your time doing other things that are going to produce income for you. So that's why we brought John on board to do that. And other ways we can streamline your business. So one of the things I'm looking at right now that I'm entertaining and will need feedback from you guys, if this is something you want to do, is bringing somebody in to do full company transaction management, not just transaction coordination of uploading docs, but managing all of your deals. So this will be something that if enough of you are interested in doing, we will do, and there'll be just a small transaction fee for this. If you, there's companies like Transactly, other places where you can just hire somebody. SkySlope has a built-in transaction coordinator position where you pay them $350, $400 a transaction, and then they order your inspections and they're uploading all your docs and they're coordinating everything. They'll coordinate the closing. Take those things that are not income producing activities off your plate for you. What I'd be looking for more is somebody that has more of a transaction management mindset where they're owning our deals. They're coming in, they're making sure clients are happy. They're checking in with your listings and telling you how often, giving you feedback on showings, letting you know after the offer is accepted that, hey, there's no updates, but just want you to know that we're on top of things and the inspection is going to be in, or the appraisal is going to be in 3 weeks. If that's something you feel like would be of value to you, I've started the process a little bit with somebody that would be absolutely next level, really great asset to the company. Just a matter of if quite frankly, if it would be a smart move financially for OneTrust to employ this person. So some of you guys have people that are doing transaction coordinator in-house for you. Spencer, Kelsey's helping. I've got Dawn, Austin, you got a team. That is the way to go, is to have people helping you with activities where you can go out and produce more income so you can keep paying people. So it'd be a matter of, you guys just think about that. Feel free to talk to me about it. Be a matter of employing those people to do more marketing material, more marketing stuff. If you wanted to also take advantage of this, and then the fee would come down to, hopefully it would be down to $100, $150 a transaction. And then you don't have to sweat any of that stuff, and all that stuff's done and off your plate. Which would be just looking back to get those things off your plate. Now, when you're not busy, you feel like you can do all those things, and maybe you can, but your time is always better spent being out in the marketplace, doing lunches, never eating lunch alone, meeting people. And these don't need to be real estate people. They can be just people in your life that have influence with other people, that can be advocates for you. And they go, oh yeah, I just went out to lunch with so-and-so. And now 2 days later, I'm golfing and I'm at a meeting and somebody mentions they're going to be moving. Oh, you should use your top of mind. It's a great way to just keep building relationships. That's what you need to do. So anyway, let me know if that's something that would be interesting, that you'd be interested in. So, and then I'm going to show you guys here on this SkySlope, just circling back to this. If you guys don't tune into the Monday Mastermind, life is busy. I get it. I've been on almost every one of them, and every one of them I have pulled something away that's like, wow, this is fantastic. And this one, just wanted to share with you. If you know about it, great. I might be behind the curve on this, but with SkySlope, which we've been using for a while, you can create task lists. Okay, so you're in your SkySlope homepage, and right here, tasks and reminders, you can click on this tab and you can create templates of tasks so that you've got your system built down. I have been paying monthly $50 a month for a program called Monday.com, and I'm moving to one, or I was going to move to one called Asana, which is just a team organizational processing thing. This is now not loading, as you can see, but you can create templates for all my listings. Here's the first thing we do. We shoot them a welcome email and say, hey, thanks so much. We go look at the property, measure the property, do the market analysis, meet back with them, give them the value, do the listing docs, all these line items where you can just check them off and you can duplicate the template into every, nice. What is X? And I'll stop sharing. My page is not working. So, but that is something you guys can build out for processes. And then I'll shoot you a link. I'll post it to our team deal. Kyle Wessel, who is in San Diego, leads a huge team out there. And if you look at national coaching stuff, he's got a huge presence on podcasts and teaching at all sorts of different conferences. Makes his whole playbook open to you guys. This is the stuff with using the EXP platform that can be huge benefits, and you can skip a ton of mistakes by using something he has. So if you go to buying.kylewhistle.com, he's going to share with you all of his buying templates that he uploads into his task list. If you go to selling.kylewhistle.com, he has all of his selling task lists that are in there. Okay. And when emails go out to people and all those things. So I haven't gone through there, so I don't know what that stuff is. I haven't looked at it yet. I just shot it over for organizing some stuff on our team stuff, but I haven't physically looked at it yet. But again, a tool to expedite your business and make your business more efficient that we have access to. So let me show you two other things as far as trainings. Now you guys can train all day long. At 9 o'clock on Tuesdays, there's a state training in the EXP conference room, the Wisconsin conference room. On Thursdays, there is a Wisconsin state meeting. Make sure you're on our EXP workplace, that you're in the Wisconsin rooms. And I leave notifications on for that one because that's team meetings and knowing. Thanks for posting that in the chat. B just posted the link in there. But like the Tuesday morning mentorship group that's right now, I scheduled this at the same time because I wanted to get a meeting in. But if you want to attend those regularly, you can. We're going to set our team meetings up at a regular time. It won't interfere with those. But I will tell you that, not to knock the state stuff, but the Honey Badger and the Fast Forward movement stuff, the organization we're a part of with EXP, the value delivered in those masterminds is insane. I've attended a couple of the Tuesday masterminds led by other agents, and they're okay. Pick up a little bit of stuff that you can always, anytime you go to a training, if you can pick up one nugget, it's worth your time. Anything you can implement into your business. So I'm not knocking anything that way, but the value that you get and the open playbooks you're getting from successful agents, some of this stuff will be a little bit further down the road maybe, but again, it's about thinking about where you want to be and implementing things. So anyway, if you go to Facebook, these two groups, make sure you're part of them and make sure you have these schedules down. This is the Honey Badger Nation powered by EXP Realty. If you're not in that group, send me a message and I'll get you added to it. And this is their schedule. So you guys should have all been, again, you don't want to train yourself to death because it's about it's about just going out and getting business and meeting with people and talking with people. So there's too much training available. I will tell you that. But you know, I've said before in the past, every company says our training and our education, you learn this by doing. You learn by, hey, this is the transaction I'm involved in. This is what's happening. What do I do? But you guys are all in the NAEA. Jay Kinder and Reese Coaching. He was the #2 Caldwell Banker agent in the entire world at 26 years old. Started Kinder Reese Coaching, third biggest coaching company for real estate agents in the United States. Kinder Reese. You'll see this if you go to announcements. If you go to this group and then you click at the top, like pinned announcements, this is the second one. It just kind of introduces you to some of the leaders here. You all should have gotten the NAEA, National Association of Expert Advisors, is their coaching thing. And you can get this certification in Certified Home Buyer Specialist, Certified Home Sellers Specialist. It's a course you go through. You get a certificate saying, hey, look at me. If you want to do some training and learn some super successful nuggets on basics, those are two great things. And then this is the training schedule that's available to you guys through the Honey Badger Nation, okay? Tuesday at 11 Central, that's today. They're doing live Q&A. Jump in there. You will get value from other people's questions. Every other Tuesday at 11. So this is on the off weeks, they do a power hour where these two come together and they just train on something that's hot in the business, or again, take questions, different things like that. And then Thursday, so they got all these trainings. Okay. Any of those you want to do, take a look at them. This is our fast forward movement, and the two trainings that are really powerful, you guys, is the Monday morning mastermind that is at noon. If you look at my calendar right now, it's a recurring event on my phone, a recurring event that every Monday at noon, even if I'm busy, I have it on and I'm watching, and I end up a lot of times stopping what I'm doing and taking notes. I took a ton of notes this week. And then this is the other one that they're doing. So that's every Monday at noon Central is the mastermind. People jump in, they're firing questions, and it's an outpouring of wisdom for an hour. It's really, it flies by. Every week they go, all right, we got to wrap it up. And I look up, I'm like, geez Louise. So that's the first one. And then this is EXP Explained. Kyle and Dan they alternate weeks. And this is just an opportunity, if you have anybody that's just wondering about EXP, other agents, that this is another thing that's accessible to you. So this is going to be Thursday at 11, and they're just explaining EXP and the power of the platform unique to being a part of the fast forward movement. And Spencer said when we made this move, Josh, why didn't you just sign up with somebody locally that's already in EXP locally? This is the reason, because the value and the power behind speeding up your business through the wisdom that you can pull from other people is invaluable. It will make you tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your career, maybe millions of dollars. So, and we have some unique value propositions through EXP because of being tied in with the group that we're tied into. So be aware of that. And that's what I got for training. I'm going to give you one other thing that I'm using. If you guys saw my company website for my new listing, I don't do this for every listing, but this is a great tool. Let me share my screen again. When you have an executive listing or you're trying to get some executive listings, to use this as just a value proposition. People aren't doing this. This is relahq.com. Okay. So for my Tahoe listing, I used this one last year on my Maplewood listing, which was an $850,000 listing. Super sharp looking website that it builds out for you. And it is all point and click. You put in the description, you put in features, you upload your photos to your photo gallery. It'll do some lead generation pages. It captures for you. It'll manufacture professional brochures. All fine. You can do that stuff other places. But to be able to tell your seller, hey, you have this website and I built it for you. They think you're awesome. And they think it's really cool that now I got to get a different video in here that actually shows that has audio on it. But so this is there's like a whole bunch of different templates. If you don't want a video showing, you don't have to have a video showing. But this is the background of this website is the video. Right. So it goes through that. But as you scroll down, it's got all the info on the house, the description. Right. So there's a whole bunch of different templates. People think this costs thousands of, $500-600 to have somebody build out a website like this, or $1,000. It's $29 a month. Okay. So for $29 a month, my seller can, if you go to westsalemlakehome.com, I had to pay $15 for a domain, and I did another $10 for this search optimization. So another $30. So I got $60 into this stuff. Now, spending the extra money on the video and the photos and all that stuff will cost, the video. I don't know what Nick charges for this, but I don't know if it's close to $1,000 or $800 or something like that, or $650, or I don't even know actually. But so you take some money to market a property, right? But all the photo galleries, all this stuff is built in here. And if you go to westsalemlakehome.com, my sellers are thinking like, wow. And I guarantee you there are other agents that will not do that. And so it's about providing value. And then they tell their friends, yeah, that was, he marketed my house super well. So relahq.com is a great tool you can use. For my Maplewood listing last year, another high priced one that we had was, I did this when you guys are looking at doing stuff, ask me about it, okay? Because I waste money on it. I've wasted a lot of money on things over the last 19 years. And I did one through, and I can't even remember the name of it, Lux TV, I think it was called, or something like that. But it was premier luxury
That was
websites for super high-end homes, marketed to the Wall Street Journal and all these fancy big money websites and whatever. And that one was like $1,100, I think, or it might have been more than that actually. And it was supposed to give me an app and all this feedback. It was a total waste of money. Total waste of money. This one is way better. So Rel HQ. But if you ever are like, hey Josh, I just got this pitch for this, feel free, or my own personalized website with Z57 or this company or this company. I've wasted a lot of money over the years. And by all means, I will tell you what is a waste of money if I know about it. Or if there's advertising things. I mean, sometimes you feel like you want to keep stuff secretive and be like, ooh, I'm going to do this. But you can ask Spencer how good advertising on a golf cart works. Ask me, ask Spencer, ask other people that you're seeing in the biz, already out there marketing. Austin's trying all sorts of things. So just ask people and say, hey, if you want to, know that we're here to help you and save you money. If you like saving money, if you like wasting money, go for it. So, all right, cool. That's what I got kind of on that. The only other thing I was going to touch on was just tips on getting offers accepted in this market, you guys. We're pushing 10 o'clock. I want a little feedback. I want to open it up here at the end. The market is competitive, but houses are selling. There are more houses selling, like I said, now than there typically are. And so, or than there have been historically. It's a matter of positioning your offers to get accepted. I was helping Scott Ladine on an offer this weekend. And one of the things I said while we were talking on the phone was, hey, you want the listing agent to like you. That is as important as your offer in today's market. If I have terrible experience with a couple agents in the market and I have 4 offers on one of my listings, now it's the seller's choice. I always say, hey, you guys are the bosses. We lay these out. Let's look at all the terms, compare them. I'll give you my opinions. There might be some things that look better, but maybe they're not, or whatever. But if there's an agent that I like, and I know they're easy to work with, and I know they're not going to be like, oh, I got to win this thing. Because some agents are like that. You do a home inspection and you're like, ah, crap, this guy is going to nitpick everything, and they don't know what a defect is. Okay. You don't want to be that guy. Because if I have the ability to influence my seller and say, this guy's really easy to work with, this guy's not, or this girl, whatever your chosen gender is. If I go, this person will be a piece of cake. They're going to have their buyers educated. They're going to do the home inspection, but they know what defects are. They're only going to ask us to cure things that really need to be cured. And that's what we need to do. That's our obligation. This person is going to nail us on everything. They're going to want to win every stinking battle. They're going to make everything into a battle. So be likable. Okay. One easy way to do that is when you send the offer over to them, instead of just forwarding them your Sky Slope signature so that once it's done, they receive a copy. Now you don't want to do that if a buyer's agency is attached or send that separately because that doesn't need to go to them. But just download it, organize it, relabel it so it's, whatever. So it's not named res listing content, just rename it Wilson Street offer packet, whatever. Email it over in a personal email so they're not just getting a random offer, right? And then don't text and say, this happens all the time. I get a text and says, sent you an offer, please confirm. It's fine if that's how that's fine. That's fine. I love it when somebody calls me and goes, I do this every time I write an offer on something. Hey, Scott, Josh Newman, OneTrust Real Estate, just shot you over an offer on 123 Main Street. I don't know how many offers you're getting. Maybe we already know that they got offers in. Maybe they're presenting tomorrow. Maybe they're presenting tonight. It doesn't matter, whatever. Just want you to know this couple is super stoked. They're qualified through so-and-so. Got a couple kids. Backyard's going to be awesome for them. Excited to work for you. We tried to make the offer as clean as possible. If there's anything we can change that's easy to do, we'll be flexible on it. Boom. Okay. That is so much nicer than rando email and a text message saying, please confirm email. Please confirm receipt. Costs you nothing except 15 seconds and you will have more success. Be likable. Okay. That's currency in this market, is just being likable and having other agents want to work with you. Okay. So if any of you guys have any tips or anything that's working for you, that is one tip. It's very simple. It's very elementary. Other tips you can do on writing offers that's helping you get your offers accepted. Certainly, by all means, feel free to share. In this market, you got to be careful as an agent. You want to write offers as clean as possible. We're seeing offers come in without home inspections. We don't want to encourage people to not write home inspections. If they don't do a home inspection, make sure you use that addendum C and have them initial by the waive home inspection, waive radon, so that you know that they've read that, where it says we encourage you to use to do home inspections. One thing you can do that I've done for a while, several years, is write in your home inspection if they want a home inspection, still knowing that you might get beat by somebody that doesn't have a home inspection. So you got to explain that process to your buyers, but putting in a clause that states buyer will cure any defects that cost up to $500, so that they know they're not going to get tic-tac. The seller's not going to get tic-tac. I just had an offer that said they had a home inspection in there, and it said buyers will cure all defects up to $3,000 in expenses. My sellers were like, great, let them have at it. If there's something major, we're going to have to fix it anyway, So that's one thing you can be putting in your offers to help them get accepted if you're in competition against somebody else. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the butt if you're in competition with me. The other thing you can do is an appraisal waiver. You got to make sure you have not a waiver, but you got to have a qualified buyer, right? You get offers that are going way over full price now. Houses may not appraise out. You can do that as a protection method for your buyer. You can write 20,000, write 30,000 over full price. Let's do it. If it doesn't appraise out, you guys, you don't have to pay that. That is true. That's the terms of the language. If you write 20 grand over and it appraises out at 5 grand over, 15 grand less, well, then it's time to get back to the negotiating table. Now the sellers might say, we got 3 other offers. We're going to go talk to everybody else. They don't need to come down, but they have the ability to. So that can be a protection. You don't want to deceivingly write offers hoping that it doesn't appraise out, because your buyer's committed to the contract price if it does. But if it doesn't appraise out and your buyers want this house no matter what, you can write in language that says buyer will make up the difference for any shortcoming of appraisal as long as property appraises out for X dollars or more. Okay. So, and that could be 20, 30 grand, whatever. As long as they have the cash, they're basically putting that money down on the house and it doesn't count towards their loan amount, because the lender is only going to issue a loan based off the appraised value. So if a property appraises for 200,000, they need 20% down. They're going to need to bring 40 grand to the table to get that loan amount at 160. If you write 220 and it appraises at 200 and you got that language in there, now they need to bring 60 grand. They got to bring an extra 20 grand to make up for the appraise if you write that language in there. So things to be aware of. Anybody else, if anybody wants to share anything that is just a good tip in writing an offer, making it clean, presenting it, unmute and feel free to share. And if not, no problem. Well, the other thing we're seeing in the market, feel free to interrupt me if you have anything to say, is people putting deadlines on. I like doing that as a listing agent, saying, hey, we're going to present offers on Monday night at 7. The reason I really love it is because I'm a real estate agent and I like real estate agents, and I don't want everybody to have to drop everything to go get into a house today because it just got listed today and there's going to be an offer on it. Nope. You chill out, you have dinner with your family, and schedule it when you want to schedule it. We're going to look at offers in 3 days. Okay. That's really the primary reason I do it, is for other agents. Obviously it can be a benefit to the seller because you just tell everybody, hey, get all your offers in by Monday at 6. We're going to look at them, and people write strong. This market, everybody's writing strong anyway. Inevitably, some agent will write a midnight deadline the day you list it, and they'll write a very strong offer, full price or 5 grand over. And then you have to tell your seller, well, get an offer. They want an answer tonight. We told everybody Monday at Tuesday. Here's where I stand. I want to keep my word to all the other agents. But I'm going to present it to you. If you guys want to reply, we can reply to them. Then I'm going to have to make a hard phone call and tell everybody, sorry, we got an insane offer and the sellers took it. And then I got a bunch of pissed off agents at me willing to do that because I work for you. But here's what I always tell my sellers. I can almost promise you with 99% certainty that this buyer that said they want an answer by midnight tonight will be there tomorrow or the next day. They want your house. They might pull it off the table and say, sorry, you didn't want our offer by midnight tonight. It's not good tomorrow. But I'd say there's a 95, 99% chance that if I call them and say, hey, sorry, we're just going to honor our word and tell all the agents that they have till Monday. We love your offer. We really appreciate it. It'll still be there. So that's what I always tell my people, because every time I do that, almost every time somebody writes an offer and says, no, deadline is due tomorrow. Sorry. That's being an agent that I like to work with. Now, sometimes buyers just kind of demand that. Nope, I'm a strong buyer. This is when my offer is good till. Tell them they got to look at it. Then you just work with it. But you see that sometimes. So anything else you guys are seeing? All right, you're killing it. I'm going to get numbers posted out there. The conversation, I just want to touch on this real quick and then we'll wrap it up. The conversation I'm seeing with buyers, you want to get offers accepted and you're frustrated. This is a market that it is almost impossible to write an offer contingent on home sale now. So you can do it. This is a tender conversation to have with your clients. Here's how I'm having it. Just had one on Sunday. With some clients that Amber wrote on that we were working together. They got to sell their house, right? Most people have to sell their house, get the equity out of their house to buy. Now, lenders are doing bridge loans again, which they didn't do in the past. Or they used to do, but then they stopped doing. Bridge loan is they're going to give you a loan. They work it a couple ways. So typically what they'll do is they'll refinance your current home, pull the equity out of it, and do an interest-only loan on the existing property. They'll use the equity as a downstroke down payment on the new property, set that one up on the 30-year term, get it fixed. It's locked in. They're making payments on their purchase. One key thing in explaining this all to your buyer is that first month payment, there's no payment. You close end of April, there's no May payment. First payment's still June. That sounds like forever away, right? But it gives you an extra 35, 40 days to get your house sold. In the current market, your house will sell as long as we price it fair and there's nothing super crazy about it. And we'll know if we're overpriced, okay? If we don't price it fair, we'll have 10 showings or 15 showings and we won't get an offer. And then we're going to have to say, hey, we got to bring the price down. But we will get you traffic through your home. What we did with these folks is they needed to sell your house, but you have to make sure they can qualify for a bridge loan, okay, to do this. Number one, there's other ways to make things happen. If you want this house, can you borrow money from somebody? Can you get somebody to co-sign and refinance? There's some creative things to do. The easiest thing to do is say, hey, go talk to your lender about a bridge loan. You guys might not want to do a bridge loan and you probably won't have to do one, but let's get it in position to know that it's there, okay? Get the bridge loan locked in. Number one, somebody might not need the equity from their house, but that's a rare situation. If you got the bridge loan set up and able to be used, what we've been doing is pushing our closing date out an extra 2. Number one thing, the easiest way to make an offer attractive is to write the closing date that is desired for the seller. Every time I write an offer, I ask the listing agent, when do your sellers want to close? I get offers on my listings and some agents ask that and some don't. And we have 2 offers that have the closing date that we want because we're already buying another house on that date. And we have 2 offers where we have to counter the closing date, even though the buyers are totally flexible, but the agent was lazy and just didn't ask me when the sellers want to close. They could have written April 13th and they didn't because they didn't know. Super easy question to ask a listing agent. When do your sellers want to close? So if possible, you can push that closing out another 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Get the bridge loan set and tell your buyers, here's the situation. If you need the bridge loan, we can use the bridge loan. Interest-only payments on your current house will be cheaper than your normal payment. And then your new loan will be locked in. So it's not like you're really paying 2 mortgages. You're paying for both, but this one's going to be cheaper than it normally is. So if whatever your house mortgage is now, it won't be that much, okay? Or the way these buyers did it is they set up an equity line. So they kept their mortgage in place because they could afford to keep paying this mortgage and pay this mortgage, but they didn't have the down payment. So they put an equity line on their current home, pulled out money on the equity line for the downstroke. They legit have 2 payments. The closing is actually a little bit faster than I'm real comfortable with. This is the folks on Van Ness that listing is going to go in. But ultimately, they got the bridge loan in place. And if you can push the closing out a little bit, you can tell your buyers we're probably not going to need it if you guys are ready to get your house listed. We can list your house tomorrow or in the next 5 days and get an offer within a week, week and a half, or the day we list it potentially. We can set the closing date for the same date as the other closing, and then we're golden. The reason you need to have the bridge loan in place is because if you, for some reason, don't get an offer, you can't just write offers non-contingent and not be able to perform. That is not an ethical thing to do. So don't do that. The other reason you need it in place is if poo hits the fan before you get to closing and something comes up with the buyers of your buyer's home and they can't close, or you have to push it out a week. I've done it where I've been able to push the other closing out a week and say, hey, sorry, we had a couple things. They're selling their house. Da, da, da. But if the other sellers go, it's not contingent on the sale of their house. It's not really contingent on the sale of their house. You got to have the bridge loan in place and ready to perform. Okay. So that's why you have to have that bridge loan in place. Or get creative. If that happens, which is what I told these buyers, if this happens, you guys were willing to do an escalation clause up to here. We got it here. If we get to closing, if we get a week or two away from closing and we're going to need to use your bridge loan, you're going to have $1,500 in costs and all these loan costs, closing fees. Let's just give that to the sellers and say, hey, we'll give you guys an extra $1,000 to push the closing back 2 weeks. You are willing to pay $310 and you only paid $300 or whatever that number is. That would be the backup. So you're letting them know the options. Communication. People get disappointed and irritated with service when communication's bad, when expectations aren't met primarily, right? Anything that's disappointment in life is because an expectation wasn't met. You had any expectation in your mind, didn't happen, and now you're disappointed, whatever situation that is. So if you can set up the communication with your clients always above board or anything like that, when it happens, you say, okay, this was the option we talked about. Didn't want this to happen, but it happened. Now we're not going to hit closing. We can ask them to push it back. We can tell them we'll give them $500 to push it back. What do you guys want to do? If we have to do the bridge loan, we can do the bridge loan. That'll cost you probably $1,500. These are our options. It's always options. It's never like drama. Oh no, I'm the professional. Here are our options. Option one, we didn't close it. We can't close on time. So option one is we do your bridge loan. We already talked about this. Thought we might have to do it. Disappointed that we have to. Really sorry, but we might have to. Option two, let's talk to the sellers. See if they're willing to push the closing back, and we might be totally fine. Option three, if they're not and they push back, we either do the bridge loan or maybe we can offer them $500 and they might be like, sweet, an extra $500 for a week. Great. Right. So there's always options. When you run into those situations, feel free to get me on the horn. I could talk you through some options. There might be some creative ones. The other option for doing, you want to get real creative on writing non-contingent is listing houses, getting their house sold before they buy. Making it, how in the world do you do that? Well, you can make it suitable upon contingent, contingent on suitable replacement, meaning they need to find a house in order to move. So, hey, we're going to get an offer on your house, but you guys don't have to move. We're going to be upfront with the buyers of your house. You don't have to move unless we find you something. It'll probably have a time frame on it. Might be 30 days, might be 40 days, might be 50, 60 days. Or we get really creative and we say, hey, do you want to move for sure? Now is the time to sell. You're going to get more money than you're ever going to get. Maybe. But it's a strong market. Let's get your house sold and let's negotiate a lease back. And we'll just tell people, hey, you either have to close in August or we'll close May 10th, but the sellers are going to lease back from you until August. We have till August to find you something. If you don't find something, you wanted to move anyway, are you guys comfortable with renting if we don't find you something? Right? There's ways to get some listings and try to generate some business. Okay. So that's what I'll leave you at as far as tactics on trying to get just kind of some applicable training that you can use. Here's what I want you guys to do to try to help generate each other business. Reach out to your sphere, to your contact list, whoever you send letters to, if you send letters, and say, hey, at OneTrust Real Estate, this was in the mastermind. If you guys are on the mastermind on Monday, this is what another agent's doing. I think he's in New Jersey. But they're doing this on their whole team, 20 agents. Hey, you guys are watching the news. There's more buyers out there than there are sellers. If you know anyone that does want to sell, but they're afraid they're not going to be able to find a house, we're keeping an in-house list called a Make Me Move list, just like the old Zillow thing that they used to have. And so we don't need to sign any paperwork with you, nothing like that. We'll come out and do a market analysis on your house, give you an idea of what it's worth. And we're going to have an in-house list because we're creating this list of buyers that are looking. You guys want to look, but you don't want to sell, or you're worried about selling and not having a house to look. But what we're doing is creating a list that we might have a house in-house in our company that is available for sale, but those people don't want to move because they don't have a house to sell, right? And so what we're doing is we're doing a bunch of off-market matchmaking in-house. If you have any inkling you want to sell, maybe it's now, maybe it's next year, we'd love to run out, tell you what your house is worth in the current market, and just get you on that list. And then if something happens, if all of a sudden another agent has a buyer that might be interested in your house, you don't have to worry about 30 people walking through your house. We'll bring them over at a time when it's convenient. There's no urgency. The buyer doesn't have to worry about urgency and competing with a bunch of people, which, as long as the price is fair for you and you're content with it, works out really for both people. You're still going to get top dollar for your house, but you don't have to worry about all the hassle that comes with it. So if you're interested in putting your name on this list, let us know. There's no paperwork. We'll worry about that when we have somebody ready to buy your house. Boom. You guys, if we do that, if all of you do that, we can have a list, a running spreadsheet, and a dry erase board in the back office once we're down there. Hey, here's a bunch of people that are my clients that are ready to move if you have a buyer, okay? And right now you got buyers that need houses. And so if you got a buyer and we got a list of people that are willing to sell in our office, that would be a handy thing that is going to get you guys more deals, more money, okay? So there's some value in working together on that type of stuff. So cool. All right, guys, I'm fired up. I'll keep you posted on the office. We're going to do a very soft opening because we'll be able to open it, get you guys keys and get in there. But it's not going to be fully decorated, and probably furniture and other things that are going to take a while to get in. And I don't even have a date yet because everything's going a little bit slower than I thought. But it'll be soon enough. So market's flying. Anybody have any closing thoughts or anything they want to share?
I got a couple questions on the bridge loans, Josh.
Yeah.
Which lenders have been doing them, and do they require an appraisal to do that? So if it's a last minute deal, is it something that they could do within a couple of weeks, or are they going to need 45 days for an appraisal?
Amber, go ahead.
So I'm working with someone right now who is talking to Jen Schrader at Ultra, and Ultra is like a machine. Like, they can get you a closing in 30 days or less. But for a bridge loan, she did say they would need 45 days. So that contingency would need to be waived 45 days prior to closing to get the bridge loan up and running.
Yeah, I was going to say it can't be real quick because usually they have to do an appraisal. Now you might be able to do an equity line though.
Right.
So we have one client with merchants that's doing an equity line, and then they just got that set up. Doesn't cost anything. I don't know. Sometimes I think they do appraisals for equity lines, but depends.
Otherwise, they go off the tax value unless you want it appraised to get a higher number.
Amber, did you just give your kid the Heisman? Did I see that right?
This? It's common in this house.
Yes.
Josh, a couple more questions. What's the easiest way to get visibility on our OneTrust cap and where that is at?
It should be in your back office. I'll have Crystal. Crystal has that info.
I asked her, she said she does not. Not our EXP cap, our OneTrust cap.
Oh, your OneTrust cap. Just ask me.
Yep. Okay.
I'll get that all put together. I am like so behind on, to just be completely honest with you, the financials of OneTrust stuff right now are like, I don't even know what they are, to be honest with you. So I've just been worrying about like functional processes working right now, and I have no clue. Yeah. So, but I'll get that all put together and let you know.
And then one last question. Maybe this is a conversation for a different time, but as of now, Boomtown IDX stuff is moving forward, is what it is.
Yep, fully loaded. Everything's perfect.
That's not going to change.
Nope.
Okay.
So the work around that on yours is you got to have the broker be the connection to the MLS. So I had to have a document signed, the designated broker. for the
Yeah.
state is the only one the MLS will give that info to. So I had to have.
And he had to sign off on it.
Yep. And he said, no problem. I do that for everybody. He did it right away.
We've been going back and forth for like a month trying to get this thing to work. So
With Andy?
yeah, Tyler's been talking with him, and
He did
Yeah.
mine. He did mine in like 30 minutes.
yeah, we will be calling him today.
So just say, hey, just let him know you're on our team. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe because it's a new site, we already had the IDX feed assigned, working. MLS was done. All I had to do was broker transfer form.
Yeah.
So it's probably different than what you're doing. But
It shouldn't be.
I mean, it's not new. It's not a new pull.
Right.
So at the MLS, they have to authorize new polls and verify that it's going to a broker, the participant of the MLS. We're all users of MLS because I was a participant before, but now I'm just a user, just like you guys are, and I pay my dues to EXP as the team lead. And Andy is the participant. So I had to all I had to do was transfer the participant info from me to him. And Boomtown just did it on the back end. I actually didn't even talk to MLS. I did everything with Boomtown. So you'll probably have to talk with MLS because that's what I had to do initially when we set everything up. So it's a little bit different. But I would think he'd be.
We're
helpful.
figuring it out one way or another.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. All right, guys, you're killing it. Just keep it up. It's looking forward to spring. We'll get together. I miss your smiling faces. Get together and breathe all over each other soon enough. So, all right, awesome.
Thanks.
Have a great week.
See you later.
Oh, hey, stop. Don't delay. Don't cut off. If you're interested, no obligation, but I would recommend everybody jump on it tomorrow at 10:30. I sent out, hey, old man figured out how to do a Google invite. Who saw that? Anybody? Thank you guys. That was at the request of Spencer. He said, hey, put a Google invite out on these things. I said, I've never done it. I don't know how to do that. I figured it out. Tomorrow at 10:30, Dan Beer San Diego is jumping on with us, just our team, to explain EXP's revenue share model and how you guys can get paid off of that. If you have no interest in recruiting agents over to EXP, it's totally fine. We're producers of real estate. We sell real estate. That's where we make our money. But it's kind of a nice bonus. So if you have people that you think are going to be looking at getting into real estate, even in other markets, anywhere across the country, or now even world, they just opened up like Portugal and somewhere else. So jump on for half an hour and Dan will tell you. Dan focuses a lot on rev share because he's got a big presence in the industry. And he's making insane money through EXP's rev share program, but he'll just share with you guys the structure of it, how it's built and how you get paid. And then whatever. And if you have other questions for us, he's making himself available for 45 minutes just for us. So jump on, it's zoomwithbeer.com. We'll jump right into his Zoom meeting. So that's tomorrow at 10:30. So wanted to mention that. All right. There's nothing else. We'll call it a meeting. Went a little long today. Sorry about that. Hopefully provided some value to you. Anything else? Peace. Have a great day.
Thanks,
See you
Josh.
guys. Yeah.
I just said thanks. See you guys.
Yeah, totally. All right. See you guys.